Hello, y'all. Welcome back to another Mini Monday. I'm not dead, and today we're going to be dry brushing this minifigure. All right, welcome back. We got this guy all primed up and ready to go. Now, you may be wondering, dry brushing the whole thing? Yes, dry brushing is pretty fun. I like it a lot. Dry brushing gives it a lot of a great attention to it. Again, if you don't know what dry brushing is, it is basically you got very little on your paint. It's great for shading. It's great for getting all the things and nooks and crannies that kind of just make it pop out and stand out, and it just kind of just makes it look pretty cool. Next to washes and stuff. That also gets into the nooks and crannies, but I think dry brushing might be more of my favorite because, hate to say it, it's kind of quick and easy, kind of makes them look good. Even like right now, it looks like a statue. You kind of get that stone textured. But other than that, yes, I'm basically just dry brushing. I was at ReaperCon at this time. This is a really old video, and I'm sorry for bringing this out there. It's been a long time. I don't know what's wrong with me. I miss painting miniatures. I got a whole bunch of miniatures, and I keep on buying more. Haven't bought any in a while, but I do have a whole bunch. But, of course,
Have you ever felt this heartache? Thought that there would be some magic.
all right, and this is where I put on the skin tone of dry brushing. Like you said, I'm just experimenting. I was just like, does it work? Does dry brushing actually work for everything? And yeah, it just kind of just, like I said, if you want a quick minifigure, pretty nice. It looks, it reminds me of an old vintage toy. Sometimes the old vintage toys are kind of like something that I like. Go ahead, do what you need to do. But yeah, so far, like everything just looked pretty okay. So I just kind of just stuck with it. Um, Sometimes I kind of just like wished I kind of did a little bit better job. But this is my first time doing everything, so it wasn't too terribly bad. But other than that, I mean, like I said, dry brushing is the way to go.
All my dreams seem impossible. All the plans I can't stop. Just opened up my eyes. See what I can do in life. There must be a road that I can take. Don't trust the ones that can't reach your soul. There must be a road that I can
All right, now it's time for me to do the hair. I I forgot most of these paints. I'm sorry. This video is really old and I'm just now getting to it. Next time I will start talking about what type of paints. But I do use different types of paints, all types of paints. So, you know, anything that you can think of, you know, it's just depending on how thick they are, how thin they are. Sometimes you need to thicken them up. Sometimes you need to thin them out. Most of the time that, you know, you can use pretty much all types of paint. It's just depending on the type of paint. Sometimes you will get paint snobs. You're like, oh, you gotta do all this stuff, you know. I was even, you know, I don't really paint eyes on my miniatures because like it's kind of tedious, you know. And sometimes eyes are like really hard unless it's like a bigger like a bust or anything else. Had this one guy who just randomly like he was also from the same state, so we're like, oh cool, you know, we're in the same state, we could like kind of meet up. And he's like, so yeah, what type of miniatures do you paint? Like, I can legit paint eyes, but it's just I just don't. You know, most of these miniatures I usually play on the battlefield, you know. Yeah, I can say this guy has this, but you know, I try to at least keep more of the imagination. Like, these guys has evil eyes, even though I can't really paint evil eyes. But he was really so adamant about painting eyes. He was just like, hey, I paint eyes. I want to feel my miniature. I want to be part of a miniature. I wanted to have life in my miniature. I'm like, I was like, that's cool, man. I mean, that's chill. But it was just a way that he was just like very paint snobby. And I'm like, all right, bro, it's not that serious. I mean, I just enjoy the hobby. I paint my miniatures the way I want to paint them. I don't, you know, some are good, some are bad for me. I mean, sometimes I just enjoy, you know, painting, you know. But he's like, well, I like to be the guy who, you know, is to master miniature painting. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot better people. And then I even seen his stuff, and it was like mid. But other than that, I'm like, ugh. So, yep. And I'm getting into more. I think I just got more of the stuff, but yeah, definitely. So painting all the stuff brown, it's all coming together here. It looks good. Like, it looks like, you know, it looks really good. I just like it.
Have you ever felt this heartache? Thought that there would be some magic. I no longer believe in magic. I know that it might.
Here I am going with another type of skin tone. I think I went with more of a darker one. I'm trying to relive these clips again. Sometimes I wasn't really talking. It was a convention. It was kind of really loud. But yeah, I think I went with more. It wasn't okay. I say it's all dry brushing, but it is a little bit more globbed on, but it is dry brushed on ish with a little bit more paint ish. But it did stand out a little bit more because I think it kind of matched the white that was touching it. So I think that was the reason why. So, but yeah, I went with a different brush. Go ahead and just try to highlight more. I think it was two different cut colors or two different skin tones because I was trying to highlight a little bit more and get more of a pop, you know, for the skin tone, because he did look a little bit too white, like straight up just like like an albino white.
Just opened up my eyes. See what I can do in life. There must be a road that I can take. Don't trust the ones that can't read your soul.
And here I'm just painting in some details. Yes, I know I did say dry brushing again, but I did want to paint in some details like the eyebrows and everything else. But the rest of it was pretty much dry brushed on. And that was pretty much spot on. And I'm just like, yeah. So most of the time, yeah, most of it was, I think, yeah, I just wanted to bring in some highlighted spots in. I apologize this video. I just hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do want to see more, I do got plenty of miniatures. I do want to start painting again. I do want to start doing this. I do go on TikTok live, and I want to start painting on TikTok live, and then hopefully just bringing in those live streams onto the recording here and just like editing down. But if you do want to see on TikTok live, it's at Hannah Saint.
Have you ever felt this heartache? Thought that there would be some magic. I no longer believe in magic. I know that it might sound pathetic.
And this is just me basically just cleaning up all the things that I see. I'm just trying to get everything all X marks the spot, make sure everything looks good. Everything was pretty much dry brushed on, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's pretty all spot on, and everything else just looks really, really good. And I was really surprised about how everything looked. Had that aged look, it had that grizzle look, it had, you know, some of the it reminded me of Kratos from like God of War, basically, especially how that whole filter looked for the new God of War. It just now dawned on me, yeah, it does look like God of War. You know, you got the Leviathan axe. It would have been dope if I just like, hey, you know, straight up. But yeah, I mean, it looks really good so far. I think I didn't put anything for, you know, to make it stick, so I think I should like put like a gloss, or, you know, I think I should have put a gloss on it. I usually put glosses on my stuff, but overall, I'm really impressed and I really liked it, and I hope you enjoy.